Most businesses don't fail because they stop growing. They fail because they grow too fast. That's hard to believe because from the outside, growth looks like success. More customers, more revenue, more momentum. But from the inside, fast growth often feels like pressure. And if that pressure isn't managed, it quietly breaks the business. Here's the pattern that shows up over and over again. A business starts to gain traction, sales increase, demand picks up. The founder finally feels like things are working. So they do what makes sense. They hire. They spend more on marketing. They take on bigger projects. They upgrade software. They move faster. Revenue is climbing, but somehow the bank balance feels tighter than before. Stress increases. Decisions get rushed, and the business starts to feel fragile even though it's technically doing better. This happens because growth doesn't just increase sales. Growth increases complexity, cost, and risk at the same time. Revenue can grow quickly, but cash flow, systems, and stability usually lag behind. That gap between growth and stability is where most businesses break. One of the first pressures fast growth creates is hiring before the business can truly support it. A new hire feels like progress, but payroll is a fixed commitment. It shows up every 2 weeks no matter what. If you hire one employee at $60,000 a year, that's roughly $5,000 a month in salary. After taxes, benefits, tools, and overhead, that number often climbs closer to $6,000 or $7,000 a month. That expense doesn't care if a client pays late. It doesn't care if sales slow down. It just shows up. When growth is fast, founders often add payroll before they've proven that margins and cash timing can support it long term. Another pressure is that costs usually arrive before revenue does. Growth requires spending on inventory, marketing, contractors, equipment, software, and sometimes office space. Those costs are paid now while the revenue often arrives later. So even though the business looks bigger on paper, it's floating more money up front. The faster the business grows, the more cash it has to float. Fast growth also amplifies pricing mistakes. Small pricing problems don't feel dangerous when a business is small, but when volume increases, those mistakes get magnified. Thin margins don't fix themselves with growth. They become more painful. Selling more at the wrong price doesn't create stability. It accelerates losses. At the same time, decision quality starts to decline. As things speed up, founders have less time to think. They stop forecasting. They stop reviewing numbers carefully. They start reacting instead of planning. Decisions stop being made based on clarity and start being made based on urgency. But the biggest danger of fast growth isn't any of these by themselves. The real killer is cash timing. This is how it usually plays out. A business lands larger clients. Revenue increases. Everything looks good on paper, but invoices are paid in 30, 60, or even 90 days. Meanwhile, payroll hits every 2 weeks. Rent hits every month. Vendors want payment now. Marketing spend happens up front. The business is doing the work today and getting paid later. As growth accelerates, that timing gap gets bigger and bigger. On paper, the business may look profitable. In reality, it's starving for cash. Imagine a business doing $40,000 a month in revenue. Demand spikes and they jump to $80,000 a month. Everyone celebrates. The founder hires 2 people, increases ad spend, and takes on more complex projects. But payments are delayed. Payroll doubles immediately. Expenses rise before cash arrives. Now, one late-paying client creates real stress. And once a business is under cash stress, decision quality drops. Founders start discounting. They rush sales. They take bad clients. They borrow at bad terms. The business doesn't collapse overnight. It slowly decays from the inside. This is why experienced CFOs don't chase growth first. They ask different questions. Are margins stable or are they guesswork? How much cash runway exists if payments slow down? Is there a reliable forecast for the next 30 and 60 days? Can the business absorb growth without breaking delivery or quality? Growth only works when the foundation can support it. Without margin discipline, cash visibility, and forecasting, Growth isn't a strategy, it's a risk. Growth itself isn't the enemy. Uncontrolled growth is. The goal isn't to grow as fast as possible. The goal is to grow with clarity, stability, and control. Because scaling a business without that foundation doesn't create freedom. It creates a bigger, more stressful version of the same chaos. If you're building a business and want CFO-level clarity before you scale, there's a link below.